All right, guys, I'm sitting here with Angel, who is a owner-operator of some of the best gyms in Miami area. And we're gonna just kind of pick his brain like we have been with a lot of other gym owners. It's getting into the nuances of running a space like this. Now, you just opened this up. This is the high-end version of what you've created already. I mean, everything you've done is, you're a gym for lifters. Like, you come in here and you get the aesthetics, you get what people are doing here. Where did it all start for you? Why'd you get into this?
Well, it started about 17 years ago. My background is in finance and real estate.
Yeah.
And it's just always trying to figure things, actually film as well, you know, trying to figure things out, trying to see what's next. But I was always in the gym. So I started working out when I was 19. So when I would go to the bank, you know, 9-to-5 job, I would, after the bank, go with my gym back to the gym. And then eventually, I think most of us go through a period in our time where we want to follow what we love, pursue it. And I came to a point in my life when I was like 25, 26, and I said, you know what, fuck it. I went through a rough period. I think we all have to go through those rough periods as well. And I kind of pulled back and I said, I want to get into the gym business. And I went from making a certain level of money, a certain amount of money in the corporate banking world to personal training.
I think that's what a lot of people struggle with the most. I know that was the biggest jump for me, and you kind of glaze over it, but it's super hard to say, hey, I'm gonna leave this, what we grew up in this generation of, like, I go to work, I collect a paycheck from somebody else, to now, hey, I'm gonna go and try to make my own money and be my own boss. It's very hard.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
How scary was that for you? And like, what was going through your head at that time?
So I'll tell you, I had a few things that helped me out. One, by the time I was 25, 26 in real estate, I had acquired a few properties in the Bronx. I'm originally from New York. So at 23 years old, I had about 15 tenants. Okay. You know, and I got into the banking world. I got my Series 6, 63. So I was doing well. Then 2008 hit. I don't know if you remember that time, that market. Yeah. And I went upside down. I went overdraft, pretty much lost everything. Short closed on properties. And my parents they lived in Washington Heights, and they still had my bedroom there. So I actually, you know, with my tail between my legs, I said, Mom, can I, you know, just hang out for a couple months to get myself back up? And I had that support. At least I had a place to go, and I would show up in the morning, show up to the gym 4 in the morning, leave out of there 10, 11 o'clock at night, trying to, you know, source leads, talking to people on the floor. And if I didn't have that support, I'd probably be living out of a car or living out of somewhere. But it had to come to a point where I had to hit rock bottom to pursue what I wanted to do and what I love.
How much of that experience, right? Because a lot of people talk about that. I went through a very similar thing. How much of that experience do you think was vital to your success now?
Everything, every single moment. You know, I just had a conversation with someone where if it weren't through the bullshit that we go through, and I just went through I go through bullshit every year. I think we all go through it, you know? Of course. And we just, as we tend to mature, tend to get older, we learn how to deal with these type of things, individuals, situations. At that time in my life, I didn't know that terrible thing that was going on was gonna be such a great thing for me in the future, yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing that people don't realize. I was just talking about that with Mark Megna, how in the moment it feels like it's the worst thing, but it becomes the best thing that happened to you. And I think a lot of people always feel bad for themselves instead of being like, I'm so glad this happened because I know there's only something better on the other side of that.
You know, I'm probably jumping the gun, but I'm gonna tell you a quick little story that happened last year. Last year I was turning 41, probably one of the most emotional, most difficult years of my life, to say that. Where I've come, you know, I got divorced, I was almost losing the business, bought out my partner, dog got cancer, I was competing, hormones were through, it was just a line of shit that was going on. But it was a point in my life where I was also able to realize, holy shit, calm the fuck down, go through the motions, let's see what happens. And there's always light at the end of the tunnel. You lose everything, so what? You start building that type of mentality. And I'm so grateful for every piece, every moment that happened last year, because it wouldn't be where I'm at today here, you know, speaking with you.
Yeah, and what I think people don't realize too is that, like, it's always gonna feel like when you start to add up all those problems all at once, you're like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. But if you take them step by step, if you handle those situations one by one, because you can't deal with them all at the same time. Right. You're like, all right, my dog's sick, I'm trying to compete, you know, my life that I thought was set is now changing. You just have to take it moment by moment. And I think that's what a lot of people miss out on, is being like, okay, I'm dealing with this problem, I can't deal with the other side.
Yeah, agreed.
Having so many spaces, what do you have, 4?
Currently operating 6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 6 spaces. You have multiple employees. At any moment, something go wrong, pipe burst, a piece of equipment breaks. Like, you have to deal with all these problems. How do you manage that on a daily basis? What's your team look like?
I'll give you a perfect example. Yet last night I had a meeting at one of the gyms. 6 o'clock, normal, PM. I'm at the lounge area. We hang out. I'm having a meeting, and I'm now, we have about 45, 50 employees. And when people get hired, they don't necessarily know who I am. They should know, but so I walk into the gym. I see the front desk. They don't acknowledge me. I don't know who the front is. This is a new person. So I sit down at the lounge area. I meet the person. We have a meeting for an hour. This whole entire hour, I'm having a meeting. I'm looking past them. I'm looking at the front desk. The front desk, I see people walking in, checking out, not checking in. And, the girl's on her phone. She's laughing. And she leaves the gym for 5 minutes, lives it unattended. And I'm trying to concentrate in this meeting. The second my meeting is over, I step outside. I'm like, Sarah, what the fuck? So I literally went back inside, I introduced myself, and I fired her. I stood at the front desk for about 15, 20 minutes until someone else came from the other club to man up the station. So it's like one of those things that, besides me being, I'm an active gym owner, I'm in it. I'm deep into it. So it's some of those actions that you have to take on the spot, but it's also the support that I had. I knew who to call. I already built that system where, hey, Sarah, don't worry, we got you. We'll pull this one over here. This is going to be taken out of this payroll. He's going, so it worked out. But day to day.
I think this is what people don't realize. In the gym business, it's a very different industry than a lot of others. Now, I haven't had the privilege of working in a lot of other industries, but in the restaurant world, right, your money's made on the margins. You could charge a lot for some food. Obviously, food costs are getting really expensive. But in a gym, it's like, all right, you can make money on personal training. You can make money on selling stuff, but that's really not much. And then you have your memberships.
Yeah.
People think, oh, there's so many people in the gym, he's got to be killing it. But there's so much overhead.
Yeah.
There's so many things that people don't realize go into it. Cooling this place, all the equipment.
Insurance.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes it's cost. It's just that you wouldn't even expect. Mm-hmm. I had a situation here the other day, a couple of weeks ago. Oh, an AC's out. AC's out. I think we're gonna repair it. How much is it? It's 12 grand. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
And that's on me. So yeah.
Well, we were just talking about like you nowadays, which didn't exist when we were coming up, are these massive gyms. These 50,000, 60,000 square foot spaces that are being built with all these amenities. As a gym owner who knows how to operate this stuff, you're looking at this and you're like, what's your thoughts?
I think some people get into this business for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. It's a weird thing to say this, but I see gyms opening up and I don't wish anyone bad, but I can tell, they're not gonna do well.
Yeah.
It's because they're, I'm a meathead. I love this. I live in the gym, mm-hmm. but I also know there's a cost to everything. To absolutely everything, every square inch, So I look at things differently when I'm building out gyms. So aesthetically, we spoke about this. Aesthetically, I keep things, I don't have a chandelier. I don't have any kind of, special neon lights. I have what works. I have lighting that works for me, and I also try to be economical in my build out. Mm-hmm. What I do focus on is on the experience. On the experience, what do people come here for? To train. Mm-hmm. So I'll spend the money. I'll spend the dollars on the equipment.
Yeah, and we were talking about that, like when me and Max walked in, I go, this is a lifter's gym. And you could tell the guy who owns this place cares. You have older equipment, you have younger equipment, like new stuff. You have a little bit from every brand.
Yeah.
Kind of give us your philosophy on like how you pick the pieces you do.
So when I started this, I guess I got into the gym business and I opened up my first gym with this original location. Mm-hmm. I sourced out used equipment like I think anyone else does when, you're putting them together yourself. And as I started growing elevation in Miami, maybe like about 5 to 6 mile distance from each other, I started creating an element in each one. So for example, this location I could have Life Fitness with Arsenal, the other location I'll have Atlantis with Gym 80 and so forth. But biomechanically, all the gyms are the same. Mm-hmm. Push, push, pull, pull. Also, most of the thing like a trainer. So push, push, pull, pull. And they're all set up almost identical, but it gives you a different feel with the equipment. So I'm a big geek when it comes to the equipment. So whenever there's a new machine, I'm trying to figure out what gym to place it in. And building out the gyms, it's fun for me. So I get to play around with these type of brands. And again, I'm not going to put any machines. You see all these, not to talk bash companies out there, but there are a lot of gym equipment companies that are, you know, they're just popping up left and right. And they're just kind of making fake or knockoffs of whatever's existing now.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, and I'll tell them I'm not going to put that in the gym. I'd rather spend the money
and buy the real one.
100%. Yeah.
I ask 100 gym owners this all the time. What is the one thing you look for in your staff?
I think the one thing it's gonna sound so cheesy, but when I interview, it's the feeling I get. Like if I'm able to communicate with them, I feel like a good vibe. I don't even look at credentials. Yeah, I have a degree, I have all this. No, are you a good person? You know, are you kind? Are you this? You know, I start getting a little bit more personable with them. And there's not one specific thing that I look for, but if I had to choose, is that they have an active and an active lifestyle where their fitness is a part of it. Like that's one thing. Every single person that works here, they work out. They don't have to be a competitor. They don't have to be a top athlete. They don't have to look a certain way, but they have to work out. So a lot of these people, they're the guys and girls, they start their shift at 10, they're here at 7:30, 8 working out, using the amenities. So the time they're at the front desk, they already built a few relationships on the floor. Yeah. It's easier for them, it's fun for them. There's a job to do, but in essence, I guess if I had to choose, everyone works out.
Yeah. So there's, you know, obviously a lot of expense to open up a gym. For myself, I always think about what it cost me so much. What's one lesson that you learned from opening up a lot of spaces that has cost you a ton? But like now looking back, it's probably taught you.
If I'm looking at this from
a business standpoint,
partnerships are more expensive than loans.
I agree with you.
Holy shit.
I think I've learned more through having partners and shit, and that's why I don't have any.
Yes. And I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I think I always toy with the idea. I meet with different people on a weekly, almost daily basis, looking at different opportunities, and I'm working on a few projects with other people, but one lesson I learned is that the partnerships are way more expensive than a loan. So I'll go to a bank all day before I get funds from anyone else.
What's 3 things that you have to have in every space? Now I notice a lot of gyms here in Miami, everybody's putting boxing gyms in their spaces. What's 3 things that you think should be in every gym? Not to be competitive with other places or to be relevant, but like what are 3 things that need to be in a gym for you that you're like, I couldn't build a gym without these 3
So I'll tell you 3 things that I need to have in any and all elevations is a member lounge area, a kiosk area with microwave, utensils, salt.
I noticed that you have a lot,
napkins, everything there, and a sick leg room. Sick. Like I go all out. Doesn't matter how small or how big the facilities are. You know, the equipment I handpick every single piece in every single gym.
You could tell.
You know, and I really, I tell myself, even if I have 100 gyms, 101 gym, I want to make sure that it's outfitted correctly. But the leg room, I'm very, very particular about because it's a strong point. It's one of those are iconic pieces you have in there. You know, they stand out. It's almost like, it might sound like furniture in your living room, but
it's just as important.
You know, and they have to work. It's not a one size fits all. So I got to be thoughtful about the demographics of the area and the type of people that it's going to attract.
You know, you clearly train. I mean, you've competed before. What's the one thing that you have to hit on a weekly basis? Like, what's one piece of equipment?
The legs.
Yeah. Well, like, what's your piece of equipment?
So I would say
multiple.
I would say
right
essentially 3 movements that will forever. I think forever. It's just basic.
Yeah.
Leg extension, prone leg curl, and a good old hack.
Hack squat. Yeah.
That's it. I think with those 3, I will survive for the rest of my life.
Do you train a lot of barbell stuff still? Like just barbell back squats?
I used to, and I stopped that. So I think I got a point when I'm 42. When I was 35, I started feeling pain in places I wasn't used to.
Same thing.
And again, 20s deadlifting, free weights. I did not care. Load it up, belt, doesn't matter. it came to a point where I started developing lower back problems, and I started just taking another approach, not the old man approach, but I still want to lift heavy. So now I'm gonna just get the equipment that I'm stable in, and I biomechanically my body works there.
And you don't feel that pain.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of talk around science-based lifting versus just like bro science, like meathead science. Do you think it's fundamental that people have to start with those barbells?
I think I want to say 100.
Foundation?
I think 1,000%.
Yeah,
I
think agree.
It's my foundation. Like I built myself there. You know, I've been training now for probably 23 something plus years. You know, and I knew nothing but dumbbells, barbells, you know, squat racks, a bench press, and I think that. I don't know how you were, but when I first started, I started with the bar.
Yeah.
It's 130 pounds wet. And I put 10 pounds, 25. The first time I put 45s on each side, I remember the fucking bar just slammed on my chest. It held me up. And you start building this mentality, this like, you know what, let's put more weight on. And it sounds kind of, not stupid, but it was my philosophy back then. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have it any other way. Today I train differently, but foundation for sure.
Yeah. In the fitness industry, there's this scarcity mentality that if I'm here supporting your gym, that means I'm losing members to my gym, or vice versa, whatever it may be. But I think that scarcity mentality holds the industry back.
Yes.
And I think we need to get more people. 80% of this country doesn't have gym memberships.
Yeah.
They don't eat right. In our circle, we see this as a commonality.
Yeah.
But I don't need to come here and be like poacher members or whatever it may be. We need to get more people off the couch.
Yeah.
How do you think we combat that? Because I think what we've done wrong as an industry is sold people on the aesthetics. Hey, you got to look like Angel. You got to be a competitor. You got to look good. But in reality, the one thing that they'll instantaneously feel is that feeling better after they work out. If I want to operate at a high level, I need to feel good. How do I feel good? I go to the gym.
Yeah.
How do we get more people in the gym?
So one of my biggest successes with Elevation is that I collaborate. I have an open arms approach with business. So you'll see all the other gym owners, all the other trainers from other gyms come over here. I get shit from people. Andrew, you're not scared they're gonna poach your clients. I think I created a place where everyone can do what they want to do here, whether it's train, whether it's network, and if people decide to go train somewhere else, I don't own that person. I tell this all the time. There was a gym similar to Elevation being built in the neighborhood. I wouldn't be afraid. I would join the gym myself. Just, sometimes you want to get away from your own space.
Yeah.
So I think if we had more of an approach where, let's kumbaya, let's hold hands, let's see the benefit of how we can all work together. I think more people will feel a lot more comfortable not only walking into here, but in all the other facilities.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like I have 3 gym memberships in New York. And one of the things, just like you said, I can't work out. It's like eating at the same restaurant every day. So for me, and then at the same time, I'm walking around, I'm cleaning stuff up, I'm moving shit around. And I'm like, I can't be in my own gym. I have to, if I'm gonna go get an hour workout, I need to go somewhere else. And what I say to people is like, you should go and support those other businesses and extend the olive branch so that there is more of that kumbaya type of feeling. What do you admire about other gyms that you're like, you saw something in another gym, you're like, I need to put that in my gym?
I'd say, I think when it comes to the admiration in gyms, you start admiring the person behind it, the person who owns it, the person who runs it. And when you walk into a facility, it's how you get treated. Nothing specifically about equipment or something they have at the facility, but for me, it's an experience. Yeah. I think the part of you walking into the facility feeling welcomed, and then being able to even, talk shop with the owner, I think that's pretty dope. And I think the level-headedness of that part of the business that they have is one of the things that I could admire the most. Because for me, I can see why ego can always go back to ego, can get involved. And I want everyone to feel good. I don't care if they're the valet drivers. I don't care if they're the billionaire. They're here, everyone's vibing. Yeah. And it's, I think if I had to take anything away from any other facilities, I'm always looking at how they manage their people and how they work with people.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest part of any business is like, you're dealing with humans and everybody has their own feelings, their own take on things. They see things differently. I mean, we can't agree on much in the world anymore. It's like we could all watch the same thing and you'll have 100 different opinions on the same thing. But you know, coming in here, it's like you have a great culture. What do you attribute that to?
My parents.
It's a great answer. That is a great answer.
I think my parents. You know, I tell people, you can. This is weird because even when you're dating, you tend to, once you get older, you tend to kind of see the traumas a lot faster as you get older. Yeah. So what I realize is, you know, I come with less trauma than most because yes, I grew up in not the best of environments economically, but I had the great foundation. I had my mom and dad, they're both together, and they disciplined me when I had to. So I wasn't the best student, but as I grew into whatever I grew into, I learned how to be a good person. My mom always like, hey, listen, doesn't matter what you do good by people. So it's just ingrained in me, it's in my blood. So I think that part, and I guess I've come to a point now in my 40s where I have to, you're a good person, and I think we all should go through it. You're a good person, but you also have to know how to kind of step back and know when you're being too nice or too good. But in that essence of me figuring or maturing, I've been able to build people in my circle around that kind of share those same values, and it's organically grown. Ironically, with members, with every interaction that I've had, like the team that I have, the Sarah, the Andrea, the guys and managers, that they have that same type of philosophy, and you can feel it when you walk into the facility. You can see with the members, you can see the camaraderie. It's not always perfect, you know, but for the most part, we treat everyone fair.
Yeah, I think with now you're seeing, especially in New York, you're seeing a lot of these membership clubs popping up, and you join a certain gym or a certain club because you want to share the same philosophy with people. Like you'll just have a better connection with them. You've built out so many different gyms, right? You're in Miami, where it's like a who's who. Has there been a moment where you're like, how the fuck did I get here? Do you ever pinch yourself and
every
say,
day.
like, I did it?
I literally, yesterday I'm with my girl, and I had someone call me, and I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, I'm a kid from Washington Heights. You know, public school system, New York. It's like and it's like I'm in a position now that I'm not saying, oh, I'm all the way up there. No, but I've grown a brand that's recognized in different parts of the world, and I have people reaching out that I would have never been able to even imagine when I was in my 20s. Like, holy shit, I'll be here. So I now I feel like I have a responsibility to not only better our systems, our gyms, our business, our people, but myself. So it's connecting people, like almost like what I did today. When you hit me up last night confirming, Brad hit me up, and I said, I gotta introduce these two, you know, and if they don't know each other.
And I think that's what makes people successful. The amount of people I've introduced to different people and stuff, because I think Don introduced us.
That's right, that's strong,
And I think he's one of those, people love him, he's revered everywhere he goes. People, I think that's so important when you don't gatekeep. If you're a gatekeeper, it's like you're losing. You're going to be very limited as to what you can do. There's probably so many people who've walked through this door or any of your gyms. Who have you walked through where you're like, holy fuck, I can't believe this person's here?
Actually here. I was sitting eating, and I see the door open, and you know, you're looking at that direction, and I see this tall black guy, and I'm like, oh, that's Shaq.
I knew you were going to say Shaq.
I was like, what the fuck? And I'm just trying, I'm like eating, and everyone's head is turning, and it's like, you know, it's like, holy shit. And we have celebrities here all the time, but that was one particular person. It's a childhood, you know,
we grew up with
superstar. So when I get up, I introduce myself, I'm like, fuck, how's it going, you know? And I'm like, verbatim, what the fuck brings you here? He looks at me, he goes, I came to check out the gym. I was like, holy shit.
Does he live down? He lives down here somewhere.
No, so I don't know if he lives here, but I know nearby he shoots a podcast.
Okay.
So he would come here and he's just, you know, stopped in,
I love that. So one of the things that annoys me the most about, like sometimes you hire certain people, and I think this holds true for a lot of industries and a lot of businesses, when you have this like victim mentality, like poor me, I grew up in a shitty neighborhood, I didn't have the best parents, you start blaming yourself. Has that ever been a mindset of yours?
Ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. I even, at one point in my life, tried to sympathize with people that did that.
Yeah.
I've become the complete opposite.
Yes,
The
me
second
too.
that someone tells me something, I just, like, I am cold as ice. Like, the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something that because everyone has problems to different degrees, some more than others.
Yeah.
We deal with it. I remember one time someone told me something, I'm like, I can sit here and write you a novel of the shit that's gone wrong in my life, but I'll never turn the page. I'll never tell you about that. I'm gonna tell you all about the positive thing that's happened and why that had to happen to get to where I'm at today.
Yeah, I think that's a great piece of advice. I want to finish on that. Angel,
Brother,
thank you.
always.
You are one of the best.
Appreciate
You're
you.
one of the guys doing it. Guys, this is part of our series where we're talking to gym owners, from one gym owner to another. I admire what you've done. You have an incredible business here. Guys, if you're in the Miami area, you have to come check out one of the elevations. This place is unbelievable. I've been to the other ones and I love them. Definitely check them out and check out Angel on social media. This guy at 41 years old was your last show?
41, yeah.
Are you going to do another show?
So I just competed at the Olympia in Tokyo.
Okay.
And then Sarasota. So, I might as well share this shit, but personal. Hopefully sometime next year, I'm trying to be fertile. So we're trying to get the baby making time.
You know what? That's actually another topic that I actually ask a bunch of guys. I was actually asking the guys from Arsenal about it because I've been on TRT for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And I said to them, because we were just talking about and I go, I'm always, eventually I'd like to have a kid. Can I even do it?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that comes up amongst guys who are in the gym. And then I look at Arnold, who's knocked up his house cleaning lady.
It's insane.
At like 50-something years old, I go, I think we're okay.
Yeah,
So,
and it definitely is, I know we're probably steering off topic, but it definitely is a point in my life where I always contemplated with the idea, but now I'm in a position where I'm like, no, I'm fucking ready. This is what I want. And it's almost, I'm preparing for another contest.
Yeah. So now do you completely come off TRT?
Yeah.
Or are you gonna?
So I've been off after my last competition, been off now 2 months, and it's been a huge.
How do you feel?
So, ironically, I still feel good, and I'm big on the recovery aspect, and I eat very well. I have a very healthy lifestyle. But about 4 months ago, I actually went to Colombia, to Medellin, and I did exosomes. I did methylene blue therapy, ozone therapy. I did a few modalities that just today I'm feeling the benefits of it. You know,
shit.
I was talking to my doctor, like bro, actually my first blood test, blood work. Your test is at 12. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like 1, 2. How do you feel? I'm like, I feel good. Is your test? Is it like legit? He's like, yeah. So again, I had just come off everything about 2 weeks. So if you look at it from a science, I guess, point of view, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you went from synthetics to like completely eliminating, and if you're not producing, you're almost
Shoots down, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I felt normal.
Really?
And I talked to the guy in Colombia. He goes, yeah, you're having the effects of what you did over there. So it's also another part where I'm learning about stem cells. I'm learning about peptides and so forth.
Yeah. No, for me, it's like one of my biggest fears now coming off it, because I came off it for about 2 weeks once just to see how I felt.
Oh no,
I felt like an absolute shit.
Yeah.
Like I was just in the worst fucking mood.
Yeah.
I tell people that there was always this idea when we were younger that you get on steroids and you're raging, or you get on testosterone and you're raging. I'm in a better mood when I'm on testosterone.
You feel like you're a superhero.
Yeah.
I think, and I just mentioned this yesterday. My strength is still there. I do feel a little lethargic.
Yeah.
But I also know that what it is to be completely off and feel like shit. Because I have done that once, but I've been on for 10 years. 10, 11 years, almost straight.
And now your doctor said you have to come off for what, 6 months?
So I'm going to do it for between 4 to 6 months. Okay. I'm going to get my blood work again in about 2 weeks.
And are you on that medication, the
ACG? Oh, I got ACG, clomiphene, a bunch of yes, yeah.
And that's supposed to help you get fertile again.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, listen. Best of luck on that.
Appreciate
right? I hope you win that battle. Yeah, because give the rest of us hope. Guys, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share with a friend, and definitely come check out Elevation.